good evening. Day one, I just got my new sod installed in my backyard yesterday, and I thought it would be cool to create a video. I'm always having people ask me questions about fertilizer schedules and what are the different fertilizers and what do I want for my lawn, etc., etc. And so I thought it would be kind of cool to just make a real quick video. I am putting on my first application this evening, so I thought it would be an appropriate time to talk about this. Just a disclaimer, I am a rookie when it comes to this stuff. I don't have a turf grass management degree. I'm not an expert by any means, so take all this kind of for a grain of salt. I am always seeking help and advice from people way smarter than I am, guys that I respect in the industry, such as Steve Plummer, Greg Fernald, Greg Elliott, etc. And so with all due respect to those guys, if you're, and others, if you're an expert when it comes to turf grass management stuff, this video is not for you. This is a very basic beginning video. So there's three numbers that you're always gonna see on a fertilizer bag, and I'm not sure if you can see this. Hopefully it comes out clear, but on this bag specifically, you see a 6, 24, and a 24. And what those numbers represent is they stand for NPK, okay? And what that is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And that's what you're looking for. In this case, since it's a beginning lawn, it's not a mature lawn, I don't want something that's high in nitrogen. I'm looking for something that's really kind of high in phosphorus to kind of help with root growth and help kind of kickstart my lawn and get that going. So a lot of times when you're going to be buying fertilizers for your own lawn with an established lawn, and you're just like, you're trying to get your lawn more green, you're looking a lot of times at this first number, which is nitrogen, which a lot of people, basic beginners know nitrogen means green grass. And so for today, we're looking to get a high phosphorus and a high potassium basic fertilizer to kind of get the roots growing and try to get kickstart this lawn a little bit. Next part of this, which is going to be important, is on the back side of the bag of this. It's going to tell you how much to apply for the amount of area that you have. So I haven't actually done the math yet as far as how much of this bag that I'm going to apply, but I know my backyard is roughly 900 square feet, and on the back of this bag it's going to tell me that I basically want 8.33 pounds per 1,000 square feet of lawn. So I haven't converted the math, but I'm really only going to use about probably 10 to 15% off the top of my head of this bag on my entire backyard, okay? And I'm gonna make sure that I set my broadcast spreader setting on the proper rate so that I don't put too much on. And then we'll go to the back and I'll show you how I set up my grid system and what I normally do on my baseball field so that I make sure that I get even coverage. Okay, so what I did is I have this 3-pound coffee can. It's easier if you have a 1-pound one, but all the ladies had in the kitchen was a 3-pounder. And I use that just kind of as a measuring cup to help me make sure I get the right amount in. So doing my math, I was at roughly 7.5 pounds for my backyard is what I wanted to use. So I used basically essentially 2 1/4 of these coffee cups full of this fertilizer, which used roughly about 20% or so, about 1/5 of the bag. So as you can see, I'm not using this entire bag. Funny story really quick. Hopefully he doesn't hear me. I'm out here in my front yard. My neighbor, I caught, he's got this little tiny front yard. I caught him trying to basically put an entire bag of Scott's fertilizer on his little, maybe, I don't know, 300 square foot front lawn, maybe. I'm just guesstimating how big it was. Luckily, I stopped him in time, got my spreader out and spreaded it for him and used like roughly 1/20th of the bag. He was also going to try to do it by hand, which do not try to spread fertilizer by hand. Or Anthony Williams, if you watch this, don't do it with a shovel either. Thank you. Okay, so I'm back here in my backyard, and I basically set up a grid system with these irrigation flags that you can see. On the short distance here of my grass here, I only have 2 flags because I know that I've already calibrated my spreader before, and I know that it's going to spread out 6 feet to both directions. So I know that this first flag right here in the yellow, okay, is set at 6 feet from the end, okay? And then I know that it's going to spread 6 feet that direction, but then when I go to the green flag, it's going to go 6 feet to this direction. So there's 12 feet actually in between those 2 flags, and then another 6 feet from that end to that end. I purposely made the width of my yard 24 feet so that it would be right for my fertilizer spreadings. So I am going to go both directions, so that's why I set it up. I go down, I'm going to go back, and then I'm also going to go the opposite direction as well so that I get even coverage. I don't really get a tape measure out and measure it exactly. I just stride it off with my stride lengths. I know that my stride lengths are approximately 3 feet, and so I'll go 2 stride lengths and then 4 stride lengths, and then I'll know that I'll have 2 more stride lengths to get to the other end. All right, so I wish I would have had it in the video, but man, we had this perfect sunset. I didn't have the right angle when I made that video. But anyway, I just wanted to make this video. Again, my first time fertilizing my brand new lawn, and something that I take a lot of pride in and thought it would be kind of cool to share. If you guys have any questions, or if you like this video and want me to do more, please let me know. I'm happy to share kind of my turf grass management program that I'm going to run out here. Again, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. And hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks.